I'm going to tell you a story about the most annoying experience I've had with a manager yet. I'm going to tell you the story in a way that you find out the information in the same order that I found it out. So we start off normal with me going into work at McDonald's. It's like a later shift, kinda 4 p.m. to like 9 p.m., something like that. And I get to the end of the shift and the manager, Kay, asks if I can stay later. I'm like, I don't really want to, and they're like, oh, but I kind of need help. The dishes need to get done. It'd be a really big help if you stayed extra. I was like, you know what, fine, I'll stay extra and do the dishes for you guys so you can go home. So I stay like an extra hour or something like that. And after that, I just go home. You might be thinking, well, nothing happened. Just hang in there, it's important context. So continuing on, I just go into my next shift. Same manager, it's chill, but they're like, can you stay later? You don't have to do dishes, I just need you to stay on the grill for like 2 extra hours. It'd really help out. And I was like, you know what, fine, I'm in a good mood. I'll stay 2 extra hours and help you guys out. And it goes well. It's all good, it's all chill, I go home. Now this next shift where I go in is when things start to really piece together. So I go into my next shift and it's a different manager because it's an earlier shift. So it's not the same manager as the previous 2 shifts that I had mentioned. A couple hours into this shift, this manager pulls me aside into the office and says, hey, Tyler, come here. I need to talk to you about something. And he kind of has this serious voice on, so I get the feeling that something's wrong or like I did something wrong, but I couldn't think of anything that I had done wrong. So we're in the office, right? And he pulls out this piece of paper. He says, Tyler, this right here is just a written verbal warning about how you didn't put the dishes back in the right spot the other day. And he shows me it was written by that manager that was on the other 2 shifts that I mentioned. And so the paper, it just says basically like I didn't put the dishes away, like there's pictures up to show where to put the dishes away. And it just says that I didn't put them in the right spots, And I tried to, and I think I did a pretty decent job. But anyways, so this manager that's showing me the paper is like, hey, I know you stayed extra. I know you don't usually wash the dishes, which I don't. That was like the second time ever I've ever done it. And he says, you're not supposed to get a written warning like this for your first infraction. She wasn't supposed to do that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this away and turn it into like a coaching opportunity. So he was pretty clutch for that, but he didn't even know what to coach me on because she didn't even say what exactly I did wrong. Like she didn't say what stuff was in the wrong spot. After this shift is done, I go home and I'm still kind of pissy about it, so I text this other coworker that was with me those first 2 shifts. And as we're texting, I ask him like, hey, did the manager say what I did wrong or say anything about it? And they were like, no, and it's weird they didn't say anything about it the next time you came in. And then the next thing they say is something they pieced together for me that really just I thought was crazy. And it's probably true. He's like, oh, the manager probably didn't tell you that second shift because they wanted you to stay extra hours and knew you wouldn't if they told you. And that really just blew my mind. I was like, wow, you're totally right. That is insane. This manager knew what she was doing was petty and stupid, so she didn't tell me about it, so I would stay and do extra work for her. So not only did this manager write me up while I was doing her a favor, staying extra and doing dishes, she didn't tell me about this the next time I saw her, so I would still stay extra. And then she had another manager tell me about it 2 shifts after the initial write-up. So that, my dear viewer, is almost the end of the story, for it is still being written. See, the next shift I have with that manager that wrote me up is on Halloween. It's a very busy time for McDonald's. And my shift is, I don't remember when it starts, but it ends at 10. Now Halloween being so busy for McDonald's and it being so late, I know she's gonna ask me to stay extra. So when 10 p.m. hits on that busy Halloween night, all the dishes piled up, and she asked me, Tyler, can you please stay later and make my life easier? I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the clock out button and say, sorry, I don't really feel like getting written up for helping out again. Or something like that. I don't know yet. Can't go too crazy, I'm not trying to get fired. But yeah, I am gonna be a little bit petty. And it's gonna be fun. If I somehow get in trouble for that, there'll be another story to tell on this channel. I'll let you guys know. Thanks for listening. I hope all of your managers are nice, and I hope you have a good Halloween. I know I will.